Hello and welcome back to TW with Generation Wrestling, which will be the Australian show today. Moose is out injured with a sprained MCL, but he'll be back in 16 days though, which I thought that was quite a small amount of time really. But so he won't be competing at the show, but we have a decent enough card there that I'm not really too worried. 29,000 in the bank to play with. I'm very happy about that indeed. It's quite a big show today, hour and a half long, and we decided to put the Generation Women's Championship in the main event. Now I usually don't put anything else in the main event apart from the actual titles match itself. You know, the Generation Championship title, the main event title of any company really. I just, unless it's something that warrants being ahead of the title, which in my opinion there's nothing bigger than the title in a company, it shouldn't be put in the main event spot over the main event title. But in this circumstance, I thought that with this being one, the crowning of the first ever Generation Women's Champion, and two, with it being an Australian show and an Australian being in the match, I kind of thought, why not make an exception for this time? But this time only, unless there's another event that comes about where, say, the Canadian Cup, something like that, because I do think that if it's a cup, then you know you can make those exceptions. But anyway, let's go ahead and we will have to find. So we're going to go ahead and book the show in a generic venue in. We're the same in everyone, right? Yeah. So we'll go ahead with Eastern Australia since it's the 97 importance. 110 fans are expected to come, so let's go ahead and book that there in a generic venue. And we can go ahead and run the show here. So we open up the show here with a tag team title match between Blackwell Sasha and Jurgen Creed, and about a decent reaction from the crowd. But subpar wrestling, Jurgen Creed defeat Blackwell Sasha in 13 minutes 59 seconds when the King of Jurgen defeats Steve Blackwell by pinfall. Jurgen Creed makes defense number 3 of the Generation Tag Team titles. Might think about passing the titles on at this point, at some point soon, just because they've went through pretty much everyone in the tag division by now. I need to double check that, apart from Joe Hendry and Kyle O'Reilly, but they haven't debuted as a tag team yet, and I don't think they're going to anytime soon, especially with Kyle O'Reilly holding the Generation Championship, although that could change tonight. This match got the show off to a strong start, and it got the crowd hotter. 32 performance there by Steve Blackwell, 28 for Von Slasher, a 33 for Nelson Creed, once again standing out, and a 23 for the King of Jurgen. Nobody improves, but that's not too bad. Then we go into our second match where Sami Callihan goes up against Scotty Mac, and Scotty Mac, this is his rematch here for his Vancouver Championship that he lost to Sami Callihan in a bout that had good heat and decent wrestling. Sami Callihan defeats Scotty Mac once again, 16 minutes and 9 seconds by pinfall with a Credo killer. Sami Callihan makes defense number 1 of his Vancouver Championship run. Scotty Mac was physically tiring towards the end. Christina Von Ellie did some good work at ringside, which, by the way, Christina Von Ellie and Scotty Mac broke up in this game, so I might take her off as the manager, but we'll just see how they do together, and then I'll make that decision. The match deserved a bit of colour commentary. The match got the crowd hotter. 58 performance there by Sami Callihan and 25 for Scotty Mac. So yeah, Sami Callihan debuted a new comeback spot that got the crowd buzzing. His psychology will be helped by being able to use it. as a go-to spot in the future. That's cool. And then we go into Crazy Steve, who takes on Tyson Dukes in front of 111 people. One more than our predicted amount, but still, it's still more. And this here match is the winner of this match will go up against Kyle O'Reilly or Joe Hendry for an opportunity at the Generation Championship. And in this case, in a bout that had decent reaction from the crowd but subpar wrestling, Crazy Steve goes over on Tyson Dukes in 13 minutes 23 seconds by count out. Decided to put over the heel here, but do it in a fairly heel fashion. Tyson Dukes debuts his old school face gimmick. I've got an initial rating of average. Tyson Dukes was really off his game, 37 in-ring performance there by Crazy Steve, sorry, 27 by Tyson Dukes. Decent enough, 34 rated segment, I'm happy enough with that. And then we see Crazy Steve celebrate and sort of do the thing where they do the championship belt thing across the waist, you know, that gimmick. Yeah, so we'll go to the next segment here, and then we see a angle here where we see Kyle O'Reilly, warming up before his match, which is now in a 45 rated segment and about to have great heat and decent wrestling. Kyle O'Reilly makes defense number 1 of his championship reign as he defeats Joe Hendry in 17 minutes 27 seconds by pinfall with a brainbuster. Kyle O'Reilly makes defense number 1 of his Generation Championship reign. 57 in-ring performance by Kyle O'Reilly and a 30 for Joe Hendry. 45 match rating overall. And then at the end of the match though, when that guy who was the champion, Kyle O'Reilly, that's it. Yeah, Kyle O'Reilly's finished his celebrations and he goes to the back. Joe Hendry gets up to his feet, and whenever he does, Eric Young comes in and attacks him. And as a result, we will put this into the pre-booking. So, what Generation Wrestling 19 will be? No, 18 is on. Yep, in 2 weeks' time, because we're doing 2 shows this month. One-on-one match between Eric Young and Joe Hendry. This will be the blow-off match for their feud. To be honest, I think I'm gonna go with the old school classic heel face feud, where we give the babyface a big pop win, and then we'll go with Crazy Steve and Kyle O'Reilly. So that's a decent enough card so far, as it's being built up to be. And then we'll close that, and then we'll go to our next segment here, where it's the main event, 41 minute match, not too bad at all. In a decent match, Emma defeats Natty Nighthawk in 15 minutes 18 seconds by pinfall with a Michinoku driver 2. Emma becomes the first ever Generation Women's Champion with a 46 rated performance for Emma and a 38 for Natty Nighthawk. And then we go to the last segment here, where we end the show with Emma celebrating her huge championship win in front of her home crowd. So yep, go ahead and end that show there. 43 rated show there, not bad at all. I'm happy enough with that. So Emma, Emma, for getting that win, we can give you a hug. We'll go ahead and we have to go Kyle O'Reilly here, don't we? We'll always have to go to Kyle O'Reilly because he's awesome, and that's what we're going to tell him. And then I'm thinking maybe we go with, you know what, let's go with Nelson Creed. Complimented on a good performance. Emma seemed pleased, Kyle O'Reilly was happy, and Nelson Creed seemed pleased. I'm happy enough with that show there. And yeah, so in 2 weeks time, in week 4 of June, we have another show coming up, where, so yeah, 2 shows this month, and I yeah, I decided to do 2 shows this month to test it out. We have a lot of money in the bank at the minute, and I'm fairly confident that we can do a decent enough show. So yeah. So yeah, decent enough show there. Good bit of money in the bank. I'd like to see how much money we spent on that show. It's crazy to think how much money we have. In the bank at the minute, actually, compared to where we were last year. So yep, 12 grand left in the bank. So we spent what, almost 20 grand on that show, actually. 29. I can't do maths very well. I study media, not maths. 29 take away 12 on what you have left. 17 grand we spent on that show. Decent enough, I guess. And with us having another show next month, sorry, this month, with having 2 shows this month, I think we might just be fine. I think that means we'll get more sponsorship money. But we got a 0.05 TV rating there, so that's good. It's very good to see. I'm very happy with that, actually. So we'll go ahead into the show history and see how 38,000 people watched that. Now, let's see our very first televised show. Got 1,000 views, just over 1,000 views, and now we've got 38,000 people watching it worldwide. It's crazy to see how much we have grown. How have you got morale issues? You were put over. Because you have a shitty gimmick. I just wish there was a way that your wrestlers could talk to you. Like, I know that that sounds stupid, but I don't know. Like, it's always like if they had an issue, that they could just be like, "Can you change my gimmick, please?" Right, let's see. We want a crown gimmick for him, I think. There's no reason why he shouldn't be able to pull that off, so let's go with the crazy one. We'll see how that goes. Also, I need to check something. Filter push women's division. Right, we have one heel, we have 2 heels, we have a few. Okay, so what we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wrestlers and 3. Okay, you haven't debuted yet, have you? Nope. Let's see your skills. Do you do a good babyface? You do. Let's turn you heel then. Oh, sorry, face. Wait, where are we going? Ah, there, this position. Protected pair turn, and that turns her to babyface. And then we want to go with Natty Neidhart, who, oh no, wrong thing. We're going to prepare her turn to become a heel, and we will change her gimmick as well. Filter heel gimmicks and exclude gimmicks that don't suit this worker. So I'm thinking about a sort of veteran type thing. Wrestling machine, no. Nope, apparently no veteran gimmicks there. Staff member, sports agent, sports fan, slob, sidekick, show stealer, sexes, servant, seductress, secretary. Patriot outside fair Olympic medalist. I don't know. Masked wrestler. What a gimmick, masked wrestler. Jesus Christ, man. I don't know. Joker journalist, laggy. Family tradition. That's a good one there. Gimmicky, cocky. Let's go cocky one. Let's go with it. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, so that's that checked. Let's go for the size now. Our importance is still 14 in British Columbia, good to see. 7 in the Northwest, 8 in Alberta. Oh, it's raised in Australia, that's good to see. But let's see our pop now. Our pop is going up. 6 in Australia overall, 9 in Alberta, 16 in British Columbia, 6 in that place that Brock Lesnar lives, that apparently has nothing there. 8 in the Northwest. So we're growing well. We are growing big time here. I mean, not big time, but you know what I mean. Like, for a company that had 10 pop in one region not that long ago, really, when you think about it. Let's go ahead and look at the titles here. Generation Championship, 76 prestige here under Kyle O'Reilly, so it has dropped down again, but I'm assuming that that's because it didn't really have a good match with Joe Hendry, but that's fine. Okay, they've brought the pot back up there. That's good to see. I'm assuming that it's because Nelson Creed is it's started to get a bit popular, so that's good. They've held the titles for a long time. They've held the titles for what, 6 months, so that's good to see. Generation Women's title, track prestige is going up thanks to Emma after that one match. And whoa, okay, Sami Callihan has really dragged the prestige of that title up already. Now, of course, it will go back down just because that's what seems to happen, you know. Unless we end up, you know, giving it to somebody like Moose, but I don't really want to give him that title just yet. Canadian Cup though hasn't went up or down, so yeah, still thinking about who should win the Canadian Cup this year. Have a few ideas. So as for titles, everything's looking good. Storylines, so yep, the local champ number 2 apparently, okay, well, okay then, you can take Scotty Mack out that, and we will go ahead and we will put in we'll go with Nelson Creed, put him in there. We'll also go ahead and put in Steve Blackwell. No, we don't really want to give him the push. No, you know what, Steve Blackwell, you are decent in the ring, we'll put you in there. Yep, and one last person to put in there can be no, Steve Blackwell is a heel. Now let's go for another heel character. Which one should we go for then? Colin Delaney. Let's go Colin Delaney. Yep, let's put him in there. So that means that on our next show then we can go ahead and pre-book this. We will have a triple threat match to determine the #1 contender for Sami Callihan's title. And that will be between Colin Delaney, Nelson Creed, and who else did we say? We said who was the last one? That was Steve Bagwell. Well, I'll tell you. And I think we'll just do the title defense in the same night as well. I'm not sure just yet, but yeah. And let me see that people on that seems decent enough there. So another thing then is our tag teams. Let's see if there's any more tag teams that we could potentially put together here, just with some of the new guys that we brought in. That isn't, so I'm gonna look at probably bringing in another tag team. If not, then we will. Oh, that's my dog over there. I wondered what that noise was. You probably couldn't hear it. It was just the ruffling of the bed. So we need to go into the titles then, and we need to look at their title defenses and who have they not went over on just yet. This is Jürgen Creed, of course. Jürgen Creed went against Blackwell Slasher. Oh, okay, they have not went up against everybody that they could have. I didn't realise that they went up against Blackwell Slasher 3 times, because there was the title win, the rematch, then they went up against the Stallions and we put them up against Blackwell Slasher again. So we will see about putting them up against probably TNT at some point. Yeah, and then after that we will assess our options. So you know what, we're going to go ahead and schedule that in now for Generation Wrestling 19, which is 2 events away. Book that match. It can be a tag team match. Just go ahead and throw in teams, TNT, Jürgen Creed, and then we can think about what we will do with the future of the tag titles after that match. Which actually, let's check those tag titles again. I believe they are the longest reigning champions so far with them. Have Shearer held them for what, 7 months? And then Blackwell Slasher held them for a good 6-7 months as well. So Jürgen Creed haven't held them the longest yet. I'm not sure if they will or not. Well, 2 events away will be July. They potentially will actually. The reign began in week 2 of January. So did Harvin Go shows. So if we put them over in the show in July, then there is a huge chance that they will be the longest reigning champions. So yeah, that's cool to see. Okay, Nelson Creed really is getting a huge push from us. Huge push from us. So is the King of Yoken, let's face it. Who thought he'd be a champion here? Let's go ahead and save that. And that's going to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, see you again. Goodbye.